Hey guys, welcome to the Stream Space, or welcome back if you've been here before. We are doing another gaming pickup video. This is episode 3. There's a couple cool things we're going to be talking about near the end of the video, so definitely watch all the way through. I mean, you have to if you want to catch some of the cool titles we're going to be talking about today. So, starting the pile behind me, and also my gecko's butt. He has decided you must all see it. It's a wonderful butt. Anyways, let's keep it appropriate, keep it PG here. I don't even know what the hell I named you. That's fine. That's fine. I'm calling you Oxide. I don't know why. I'm just going to call him. Name my gecko on stream. Why not? Anyways, so let's get this show started. We have, first and foremost on this list, they're not foremost, I wouldn't say it's not the most important title, but I'd say it's important to me. We have Yoshi's Story for the N64. So, kind of a platformer. It was definitely a lighter toned platformer than a lot of games that were released around the time. It's kind of where some of his little quirks in Smash Bros. Come from, like the jumping, the kind of noise. And so the other thing being he's got like the egg throwing and everything is one of the first ways where you like actually target the egg and throw things at people. It was a lot of fun. It was a good game. I definitely played it more than I played Mario 64, if I'm being perfectly honest. I actually never finished Mario 64, any of the more modern Mario games for that matter. So it was kind of fun to see this one pop across my feed on Facebook. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to go pick that up. So first game in the list, Yoshi's Story for the N64. Next up, Monster Rancher for the original PlayStation 1. This is an interesting title. I mean, these were RPGs slash monster raising simulators. So, you know, you'd get your monster. And this was one of the ones that was cool because if you had CDs, you could actually get other monsters from them. In this version, you can actually get the monsters. Now, on the Steam Deck, there's some way of unlocking them that I've been told about that does exist. But this, it was super cool because you could pop your CDs in a certain part of the game, and it would give you a new creature out of it. I mean, not too many games did that. The only one I can think of really was Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. You could actually punch in the code on the card, and it would give you the card. Some cards didn't work very well, like Blue Eyes White Dragon. For some reason, you could never use that one. Next up is Darkstone. This is an isometric top-down RPG, action RPG, kind of in the same vein as Diablo, a little bit slower paced. Obviously, the graphics aren't as good. But utilizing the PS1, it was actually a pretty, from what I've seen, it's a pretty solid game. It's from Take-Two Interactive, who you may know from, GTA and the original games for that. New release, Final Fantasy XVI, apparently a return to form. I'm actually excited to see Ifrit in his full powered form and really dig into the story for this because it does look very interesting. And it looks like people kind of get their summonings as like almost like a part of them, like they belong to that person, as it were. You're gonna notice my shelves are empty. We are getting ready to move. Kind of sucks. Next up is Army Men RTS for the GameCube. Now, this is an interesting title. This wasn't released exclusively on GameCube, but I'm trying to build up my GameCube collection a little bit because I don't really have a lot going on in there. There were a couple very specific titles that I really liked for it, but, didn't play a whole ton. So, basically, an RTS, but with our favorite little green soldiers. So, I'm actually excited. It sounds so stupid, but fun. Next up is Ultimate Spider-Man for the classic Xbox now, classic Xbox. I said that right. Basically, you got the ability to play as Venom or Spidey, and it took on the more cel-shaded art form, and it looks like it's going to be a solid game. It was one of those games that was like a hit when it first came out, but I didn't really play it. So I'm actually excited to add that to the roster, seeing as we have most of the Spider-Man games. So at least the ones that we want. So I've got Spider-Man for the N64. I want to get Spider-Man 2 for the PS1, and that was Enter Electro. The difference between Spider-Man N64 and Spider-Man for PS1 was that the cutscenes were actually full moving in the PS1 edition, whereas they are still image comic book style in the N64. So, in case you were wondering what the difference was. And then we've got Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 between PS2 and Xbox. We have We have Web of Shadows. We have Edge of Time, Shattered Dimensions, all those exciting ones. And it's pretty cool. Just how many different games and how popular they ended up becoming. So yeah, we're gonna do a stream of these maybe at some point, but it'd be kind of cool to talk about just the different Spider-Man games and how they've changed over the years. Next up is, this one's more my fiance's game than my own, but you know what? I want to talk about this series because I really like this series. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3 is like, I don't know what was with this game because it wasn't super expensive when I did end up finding it, but it was really hard to find. So maybe they just didn't make a lot of it, and I normally see it on 360, where our collection of them has been on PS3 predominantly. But you know, you mix Dynasty Warriors with Gundam, and it's a fun beat 'em up. Run around with beam sabers or scythes and stuff, and just beating the crap out of other creatures or other Gundams and stuff. It's fun. Swarms of them. It's suave. Just destroy them all. Destroy them all. A lot of fun. Knights Journey of Dreams. I almost called it by the title of the original. Now this started out on the Sega Saturn, Knights in Dreamland. It was one of the first 3D games I ever really played. It was a lot of fun. You got to run around, and it had really slick visuals, but it also was like sparkly and happy, and you got to run around as knights and, you know, fly around and go through hoops and collect rings and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this character, and so it's kind of a nice to have it on Wii and start to get an opportunity to revisit this character. Naruto Rise of a Ninja. We have one of the better variants of a Naruto game on the Xbox 360. There was only one of 2 games that actually went to that system, actually, which was this one and the sequel, Broken Bonds. So Rise of a Ninja kind of takes place between episode 1 and I'd say about episode 60, which is when the Chunin exams comes to an end. And you could really enjoy playing as Naruto, but it took a almost skill-based approach to the fights, where it added some RPG elements to assist you with them. So it was a lot of fun, and definitely like wicked mobility. You could run around the entirety of Konoha. Now, I'd say that the Ultimate Ninja games, Storm specifically, lets you do the same thing, kind of, but I would say they don't do it as well as this one did. It had a much better feel. In terms, it was a little more straightforward, and it was definitely more story oriented and not mission based, which is one of the problems I have with Storm and why I have had a really hard time getting into it. Resident Evil Outbreak, one of my favorite kind of like anthology style titles for the series. It's a lot of fun to play through the different missions. There is actually a very Resident Evil movie-esque mission where you actually go to a hive and have to make your way through it. I really enjoy that one. It was one of the few levels I actually finished on that game, and I'm kind of excited to get into playing those older style games again. Now we're gonna try and let's go into the most relevant thing to this video first before we talk about those other things. You may recognize this little rockin' candle thing. We bought a memory card because we want to add it to our retro streaming roster for following Final Fantasy VII Classic. So we're going to be probably playing, I would say, Paper Mario, because I've actually heard so many good things about the game series but never actually played it. So we wanted to dive into that with you guys and add it as additional content. So this bad boy is going to be joining the roster. We just have to get some component cabling for it. So we got some time, obviously, because we're only a few parts into Final Fantasy VII. We're only about to hit the Shinra building or make our way up. I say that because I hate that part so fucking much. So we're excited to jump into add a new roster of games to the list, because we can play things like Twilight Princess. We can play that on Wii, don't get me wrong, but I mean, to play it on GameCube, that was original. The GameCube controller is easily the most comfortable controller in existence, so it'd be exciting to play on that. Now, the other important announcement is we've initiated a sponsorship with Debbie Energy. Now, who the hell's that? They are basically, you get these powder mixes of energy drink, and this is, you can put them in a bottle of water, just like this, mix them around, and you basically have a jitter-free energy source that is, I would say that the crash is, there's no crash. I was drinking a good chunk of it yesterday to really test it out, and I really didn't get any crash from it, so I really enjoyed the flavors and everything, and the lack of and the tumblers you get from them are actually quite great. They come with a little agitator ball, so basically when you want to mix it up, you just shake it, and it actually like shakes around and actually mixes things in properly. So on one scoop, I get that whole bottle. That is bigger than most energy drinks. That energy drink wouldn't even fill half of that. Maybe. I think it might fill a little bit less than half. And they've got a bunch of really cool flavors. For example, they've got these two, which is Dub Sludge and Calio Cream. Dub Sludge is basically Granny Smith apple with secret sauce, and then Calio Cream is mango orange cream. So they're both great flavors from what I've tried. We have a sample pack coming, and we're going to do a full taste test of all the different flavors after we get all the different flavors. So it'll be kind of exciting to really dive into that. So if you guys want to get some, you can actually use my code Pydera74, and I get a little bit of commission out of it. Not much, like 10% or something like that, but it'd be really cool for you guys to buy some energy drink that doesn't suck or isn't totally horrible for you, because there's actually vitamins and amino acids in there. Or you can continue buying from the store and crash, go for a nap every time you drink one. I don't know. That's been my experience. Newer ones make me want to nap. So, this is kind of like our formal announcement for those big changes, and also we did our gaming list. So we're moving. So as you can see, shelves are empty. We're going to be starting to really, I think it's going to become a little empty around here. But we'll see what happens. So thank you for checking out the stream space. I'm Pydera. You can find me over on YouTube, Pydera Space 74, over on Twitch, Pydera_74. We are aiming to continue with Pokemon Scarlet for the next however long. We're working on our second gym badge right now. Regretfully, because we were on for like 2.5 hours last night and couldn't get to it. I had to burp. I didn't want to burp. Anyways, so yeah, that's our buy some technically off of me. This is our new partnership. We're excited to see. It's going to hopefully become a sponsorship where they actually send me some free stuff to try out on screen. But anyways, thank you for checking out Stream Space. I'm Pydera. You can find me over on YouTube, Pydera Space 74, where you're watching this. We're over on Twitch, where we do our console live streams. Everything shows up there as well, but here on YouTube it actually gets saved, so you have access to the full roster of about 800 videos. We have like almost 800 videos, and so you can definitely check all that out and have some fun. And we're going to be online again later today with some more Scarlet, but we're also going to be posting our next Final Fantasy live, our Final Fantasy retro stream. So thank you for checking out the stream space. I'm Pydera. You can find me. I already said all this, so I'm gonna go do other things. Check it out, guys. Throw those likes, follow, subscribes in all the right places, and I will see you guys next time.